What's up, St. Louis? Jamal Mayers here. Want a chance to watch the Blues like an insider with me? When you become an annual STL Sports Central insider, you're automatically entered to win. We're picking 2 winners, each bringing a guest to join me in the Blues Alumni Suite for the game versus the Edmonton Oilers on Friday, March 13th. That's right, Connor McDavid. We'll have free drinks, heavy appetizers, and an unforgettable night of Blues hockey. Sign up now at STL Sports Central, and I'll see you at the game.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. My name is Eric Sontag. Tito Ulrich is back, riding shotgun with me tonight. Mr. Sharp, Sean Cerwillo, unavailable this week, unfortunately, Tito. So what's your reaction to Mr. Sharp not being with us the week of the Super Bowl? I mean, what's going on with this?
When I got the news earlier this evening, I was disappointed because this is like Sean's like Christmas, right? Like this is the time he's putting in 1,000 different bets. He's been his bankroll. I mean, he's going over the moon with all these bets. So I'm a little disappointed. I got some prop plays. I know you have some prop plays, and so I was looking to get Mr. Sharp's thoughts on some of these props that I have at my disposal that I'm going to be putting into the Action Network, and so I'm a little disappointed, but we got our group chat, so I'll send him a separate message and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm super disappointed, Mr. Sharp. I hope you come back soon, and hopefully my schedule aligns where we can actually be on the same screen together, Daddy, because I miss seeing your face.
I know, brother. Yeah, we'll forge ahead. Yeah, and follow Sean in the Action Network app, Mr. Sharp 44.99. Make sure you get his Super Bowl plays. Landon Jackson in the chat. What's good, fellas? Landon, welcome to the show. And Danny Bow, I believe that's Danny B. What's up, guys? Can't wait to hear the Super Bowl picks. So yeah, we are looking forward to breaking down the Super Bowl. We will have all kinds of picks for you guys here tonight on the show. And like every week, we're here to talk sports betting and cover our hometown teams as well from a gambling perspective. So hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel if you haven't already, and get involved in that live chat like Danny B, like Landon. Chat was on fire last week. We loved it. All comments are welcome. I will read just about anything as long as you're not like a total weirdo. So yeah, we are going to dive into the Super Bowl tonight and give you our bets for the game. We're going to talk some college hoops, give our picks for SLU and Mizzou this weekend. We'll also have some other bets from across the sports world. And then we're going to close out with our best bets here on the show. We got Brendan Stanfield in the chat. Good evening, says Brendan. So welcome back, Brendan. He was on fire in the chat last week with some great conversation. Landon says, anyone else fade the Blues tonight? I did see, Tito, this is your favorite thing, an 8:30 start where the game actually, right. I believe that the faceoff was at 8:50 with the Blues and Stars.
Yeah, I turned on TNT to watch some of the pregame, and it's like 8:20 at night. And I see the Boston Bruins game is still the third period is just starting. Like, there's no way this game is going to even start at 8:50. And I know that Turner has all these damn networks. They got True TV, they got TBS, they got TNT, they got AMC, they got all these nonsensical games that they're on all these different stations. So it's a big woof. And so yeah, 8:50 start. What an absolute embarrassment! What a garage league the NHL is. And so I'm glad that we can lead into Blues Central post game, but. It's one of those things where if you're up late, watch some of the analysis, watch this kind of break down the Blues, and what a dumpster fire of a season. Absolutely atrocious, making that deal today to send, what's the guy's name, Nick Bukestad or some nonsense like that. What a big wolf.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Blues. Yeah, they're tied 1-1 with the Stars. Looks like about 5 minutes to go in the first period. Yeah, I actually did not bet that game tonight. I did bet the game against the Predators on Monday, I guess that was, and I saw that it was the dad's trip for the Blues. And I have not been betting a lot of hockey lately. I've just been kind of checked out. We're just like, I can't figure out this team. It's not fun to watch. But I saw it was the dad's trip, and I'm like, oh, like, you're going to get a dad bump here, the old dad trip bump. So I bet the Blues on the money line. I think they were plus 122 is what I got it at. They're up 5-1. I'm like, all right, they got the dad trip bump. And then I saw it was 5-2. I'm like, all right. And it was 5-3 at the end of 2 periods. And I decided, I just had a weird, bad feeling. I've not bet a lot of hockey lately, like I said. It was a fifth of a unit. So 0.2 units on the Predators on the money line. Pretty close. Yeah, it was like a buck at plus 630 on the money line on Nashville, because I could just feel it, and I did not. It was going to really tilt me if I lost my 1 unit play on the Blues, blowing a 5-1 lead. So I ended up profiting on that game, not as much as I would have had the Blues hung on and won, but that was it for me. Like, I'm ready for this Olympic break. I feel like I'm Ross and Rachel back from watching Friends. We're on a break. I need a break from the Blues, Tito. I'm looking forward to this Olympic break.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this this Olympic break, because if Bennington goes and plays lights out for Team Canada, is everyone going to start the momentum? Is everyone going to get back on the gravy train and think that, hey, this Blues team might have a late season run in them and get our hopes up, only to have them dash at the end of the year where it's too little, too late. So I'm kind of hoping that Team Canada doesn't go with Bennington at the start, and they maybe go with another goaltender. But yeah, let's see what happens during the Olympic break. I just got tickets. I'm sending my youngest son to the first ever Blues game. Both my youngest sons, we're going to go to our first ever Blues game, the first game back Thursday against, I think it's the Seattle Kraken. So We're looking forward to that. So just got tickets this afternoon for that. So they're fired up, and they're ready to wear the sweaters and get out there to Enterprise and cheer on the Blue Note.
I love that. Yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully some good tickets available. I would imagine that the casual fan is hopping off over this team. Yeah, Landon said, what an awesome hedge. Yes, it kind of was an emotional hedge a little bit. It's just one of those, it's just a 1 unit play for me. I just really would have pissed me off. Like, this is the time I hop on the Blues with the dad trip bump, and then they fuck it up like at times. But I have Billiken fever right now. So that the Billikens are just saving St. Louis sports right now. I love the flag behind you, Tito. Like, I obviously have bets on the Super Bowl this weekend we'll talk about, but like, my gambling focus has really switched over to college hoops. It's really starting that day after the AFC and NFC championship games. I've been betting a lot of college basketball games. I'm a total Ken Pom nerd, as you know. I love looking at all that data, Tito, that beautiful, beautiful data to help just kind of refine my process with this. So I've been doing a bunch of half unit plays, which is a lot of volume. Just get a lot of bets out there and just kind of, test out my system and just my process. So a lot of unders in there. And heading into tonight, let's see, actually, my action tonight is completed. 5-2 evening in college basketball. Gotta love that. So really, since that day after the AFC and NFC title game, that now brings my college basketball record to 36 and 25. How do you do? 36 and 25 over about a week and a half. Quick little math. That would be 59% over the course of the week and a half or so. So we're about a month away. It's my two favorite weeks of sports betting all year long. Tito, I don't know if you remember my college basketball conference tournament betting system. I'll have about 200 bets over a 2-week span coming up here in the first 2 weeks of March. I like this better than the actual tournament just because there's more games. So Tito, that the conference tournament betting system, I remember explaining that to you one time. A lot of dogs, a lot of unders, but then it gets pretty fucked up. It's very convoluted. But I'll be your boy for guiding you along the way for conference tournament betting time.
You've told me about this system, but I think the last time you explained it, that was about 3 sheets to the win. I think we were over at the Enterprise Center watching some Missouri Valley, and so we went over to I don't even know the restaurant anymore. We had some dynamite appetizers at one of these places down the street from the Enterprise Center. And
it was the pitch right across from City Park.
Yeah, that's right. So had some dynamite appetizers and was pretty inebriated. And this guy is trying to explain to me all this process, all these bets. And I'm just like, my head starts spinning, folks. I mean, Tito's a Melvo guy. I'm not a big math guy. And this guy starts spitting analytical numbers left and right. It made me almost pass out from all the damn stats he's giving me. So if you're knee deep in the analytics and the data, Eric's definitely your guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely your guy for that. Yeah, this conference tournament betting system has been profitable each of the last 6 years. So I have this documented. This is actually something I still have, and it's a Word document. So I'll put all those plays into action. I'll talk about this system on a future show, probably that first show in March. Danny B says that. Let's see. Eric's been hot on. Actually, lately I saw that. Yeah, and it's not. I have been in a good groove lately, but this again, I'm trying to grind it out profit, man. I'm not about just like ride a hot streak. I just really try and grind this out where I'm really digging into KenPom and betting unders in these obscure college basketball games. I just love that shit. Yeah, Landon says I'm sold already. I cannot wait to tell you about the system, Landon. It is very, very intricate. And Brennan says I'm scared of Illinois going to match up with SLU in the round of 32 or something and lose. This almost reminds me, I think it was the year after COVID, the first tournament. I want to say Illinois was a 1 seed, and they got matched up with Loyola in the second round, and the Illini got taken down by the Ramblers and Sister Jean. And it would not stun me if we see something like that. I do think if SLU keeps winning, we'll talk more about SLU in a little bit. Illinois is probably looking at around a 2 seed. They're putting on Northwestern right now. I don't think SLU is going to be a 7. Gun to my head, I think SLU is going to end up being around a 5. I think they're going to fall in that 5 to 6 range. Really don't want to be on the 7, 8, 9, or 10 line just because you want to avoid the 1 and 2 seeds. But yeah, SLU, no one is going to want to see them in the bracket, man. This team can hoop.
Yeah, they can shoot lights out. They got good guard play. And this Brady Dunlap out of nowhere. I mean, this guy lined up last night. I mean, what a great performance by him. And who's the other guy that Rammer keeps on talking about from 3-point lanes? I forget I guess it's something like I don't
Trey
even
Green?
know.
Is it Trey Green?
No, it's the other kid. It's the other
Sharma. Instant Sharma.
Instant Sharma. Yeah, I love Rammer's calls. Those are dynamite calls. So it gets me all fired up every time I listen to him and Earl on KMOX. But yeah, they can shoot lights out. Robbie can play the high-low game all day long. So they get after it, rebounding wise. So yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to be a 7 seed. I think they're going to. I think I'm with you, but around a 5 seed, maybe a 4 seed if they can run the table and not get not have a hiccup here towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I think a 4 seed is definitely in play, and if they get that, they're probably going to get sent to the Enterprise Center, which would just be electric.
Awesome.
So yeah. If you guys are watching, big on honesty, transparency. There's a lot of frauds in the sports gambling content space. So every bet we make. Tito, you know all about frauds, right? So
oh, sure.
That's why I want to document every single play that we make. It's on the free Action Network app, so you could see what our records are. If you're watching, highly recommend you create a free account. I know some of you guys on there watching already have an account, but just really recommend being able to track your own plays, get a notification instantly anytime we make a bet or anyone you follow makes a bet. There's some sharp bettors on there. So my username on there, esontag, been tracking there for over a year now. Up over $2,500 during that time. Mr. Sharp, $44.99. Sean, who's unfortunately not with us tonight, I believe he's up $6,500 now. Tito, you're on there. You're not gambling much right now because I know you're a busy little beaver. You could follow Tito with the username TitoBets. So get on that Action Network, and just kind of join our little community here. Tito, are you going to be dabbling on the Super Bowl this weekend? You're just going to watch this thing as a fan, or just get a little bit of action, a little bit of taste?
What a big wolf, this Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even know why I'm on this show with you tonight. I'm not super enamored with this Super Bowl matchup. I mean, this is an absolute dumpster fire of a match. We got Sam Darnold versus freaking who's the other quarterback for that team? I don't even know. It's a big wolf. I don't even know. Drake May, what a big wolf, and Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots. I don't even give a rip. I may not even watch the Super Bowl. I just may order a bunch of pizza. I know my sons they got to take a canned good to school tomorrow, and they're gonna choose who they're gonna bet. And if their team wins, they get a dress down pass, and they get to wear whatever they want to wear. They have to, I guess they have to have a canned good too. But I don't even know. My sons probably have more knowledge than I do on this, and so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But Tito's not enamored with this matchup on Sunday. I'll tell you that right now, Eric.
Well, if you do want to bet on the Super Bowl on Sunday, the perfect lead into that live read there, Tito. But make sure you guys get signed up with DraftKings if you're not already, because Super Bowl 60, it does deserve a sports book that's built for the moment, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. And when anything can happen during the Super Bowl, DraftKings has your back with early exit. So if a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash immediately once your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. We'll talk a lot of player props on this show. I have a Kenneth Walker prop I'll talk about, for instance, where I have an over I'm betting with him. Well, if Walker gets hurt in the first half and is out for the game, DraftKings will have my back with that early exit protection. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports to turn $5 into 300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, get to a couple other comments in the chat. The Godson's in there, says, takes a fraud to know a fraud, Tito.
Oh wow, Godson! Where's another NHL over for your fraud of a gambling take? What a big woof! Leave me alone.
Oh, and then Danny B said, I don't know much about the Billikens. What makes them so good this year? I mean, how much time do we got on this podcast? Because I could go all day about this team, but really, it starts with a coach that knows how to run offense and knows that the efficient way to run an offense is to shoot 3-pointers, layups, and dunks. You will not see the Billikens shooting 15-foot step back jumpers, 18-footers just inside the 3-point arc. Those are not efficient shots. So SLU knows how to run an offense efficiently. They guard the hell out of you. They're up on you, just nonstop. They lead the A-10 in like basically every category you could possibly imagine. They're the top team in the country in effective field goal percentage, both offensively and defensively. They make shots at a very high level, and they make it really difficult for other teams to make shots with the way they contest and the kind of shots they force you to make. And really, this team that it can run 9 deep. And Brady Dunlap, like you mentioned, Tito, had not even scored the last 3 games. One of those games, he was out sick. The other 2, he probably wasn't feeling 100%, but he was feeling 100% last night because he comes out and scores 22 points with 6 threes. And that's the thing. Like, this team, they have so many different guys that can hurt you, and you don't know who it's going to be on a nightly basis. So that's kind of just a quick little snapshot. I don't know if you have anything to add on Danny B's question there, but this team is an absolute joy to watch. Like, I am planning my evenings around watching this team because they are an electric factory. The Billikens are this year.
Yeah, no question about it. And like you said too, like when you roll 9 deep and you have a lot of outside shooters, you're not relying on 1 or 2 of them to get hot. I mean, they consistently are able to pick each other up, and the finishing around the rim is something that I've kind of enjoyed watching too. When they get to the rim, they finish. They don't miss those bunnies. And I've been a little bit skeptical over the free throw shooting over the last several weeks. They've kind of came back down to earth. They started off really, really hot, but if you can hit your free throws in March and then you can hit some outside shots, and when you have 9 guys that I think most of them, I mean, there's 1 or 2 that can't shoot 3-point shots, but for the most part, any one of them can hurt you. Whether it's Sharma, whether it's Robbie, or whether it's Trey Green, they've got a lot of different dynamic players that can really hurt you. So it's an overall team effort, and you got a great coach in shirts that, like you said, understands the philosophy of how to be as efficient as possible. So it's a perfect combination for us as Billiken fans.
Yeah, that's very, very well said. Yeah, we will get into SLU and LaSalle here in just a little bit. My best bet for the show is actually from that game. So I'm looking forward to breaking it down. B. Fishman in the chat saying he just hit his $1,000 parlay. We are back, boys. So I don't know how many parlays B. Fishman has lost over the last few weeks. He looked like he was in a death spiral the last several shows, but B. Fishman is back. Share in the chat, B. Fishman, what was your big parlay here that you hit tonight? I love to see that. Man, this is supposed to be fun, right? If you're betting lottery tickets, if that's the way you want to gamble, like, Godspeed, have at it. And you could have a little rush like that. That's outstanding. So let us know what you got, B. Fishman. But while he's putting that in the chat, let's start talking Super Bowl 60, Tito. And so anybody out there watching, give us your thoughts on this game in the chat and let us know what you're betting. Obviously, just tons and tons of angles to consider for this game. So we're going to talk about what we like with the main bets, on who wins, who covers, but then we'll each have some props to give out as well. So the line for this game on DraftKings, currently the Seahawks a 4.5-point favorite, and the total is 45.5. So Tito, I'm going to give you the honors on just kind of the, before we dive into the props, just kind of what's your big picture view on this game, whether it's who wins, who covers, total, what have you.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning New England here, especially with Mike Vrabel as the head coach and someone that's kind of been there as a player before and kind of knows the logistics of what to expect during Super Bowl week. I know they had that rookie quarterback in Drake May that's never been to the Super Bowl, but they've got a lot of veteran depth there. So I definitely like the Patriots and laying the 4.5 points. I definitely think Sam Darnold is a complete fraud. So I think he's going to he might even shit the bed a little bit. He might pull a little JD Drew and have a hangnail that he's going to have to come out of the game for a little bit that I'm going to use for one of my prop plays. But definitely not sold on the offense that the Seahawks are running. No doubt about it. They have a great defense and they can force turnovers. And so I definitely think there's going to be a handful of turnovers, but give me Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots and lay the 4.5. That's where I'm leaning for my play.
So do you think the Patriots actually win this game? Or do you think, just the cover, it's going to be tight. They cover the 4.5 and Seattle takes us down?
No, I'm definitely leaning I'm leaning towards the Patriots to actually, to win the game as well.
Wow.
So, so yeah, definitely, I'll definitely, I think the Patriots are going to take care of business. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a close matchup.
Wow. All right. So some hot takes there from Tito. The Godson in the chat saying, Rashid Shaheed could be a big factor in this game. I actually thought about this. Remember Desmond Howard back in the day winning an MVP for the Green Bay Packers in a Super Bowl because of what he could do in special teams. This guy opening play of their game against the Niners in the divisional round returns a kickoff for a touchdown. You do something like that in a Super Bowl. That could be an MVP type performance. I do see. I thought this is interesting. His odds to win the MVP are plus 3,000, which sounds like a very nice price, but he's the 6th favorite to win the MVP. Like even Stephon Diggs has worse odds than him. Like very, very strange. But Shaheed, I think that could be worth the dart. Whether it's Shaheed to win MVP at plus 3,000, a sprinkle on that, would not mind. Or a defensive special teams touchdown. If you bet that, I don't know the exact odds on that, but you're getting really nice plus money on that, probably in the range of around plus 500. I think that could be a good look because you got Shaheed that could score a special teams touchdown. Obviously, 2 great defenses that potentially could score as well. Danny B says first half under, probably a snore fest early. I really started coming around to that today when I really started to dig into that game. I'd say of the spread and the total, the under is what stood out to me, but I don't like taking full game unders in the NFL because I feel like these games are getting nuts in the fourth quarter. Total gets you a first half under. I agree with you, Danny B. I'm going to be including that. Maybe not a straight up play. I may try and do one of those, 3-legged parlays that you'll see on a book where you can get like a 30 to 50% boost. So you maybe use an alt total, first half under, and include that in one of your plays. I think that could be a really good way to attack it. P. Fishman, oh my God. So this was his parlay. 16 legs. Jesus Christ. This is basketball points, rebounds, and assists. I don't have enough space to write.
Wake me up when you're done with this one. My goodness.
So the Knicks and Nuggets game did it for him. My God, that is an absolute lottery ticket. B. Fishman. So well done. Well done, brother. I am curious, $1,000 parlay. Like, I'm curious, how much money have you lost in the other parlays you've been waiting to hit over the last? That's another reason to get in that Action Network gap, because then you can hold yourself accountable and actually know what the hell you're up or down when it comes to that kind of stuff. So when I was looking at this game, first half under, I agree with Danny B. But just like I thought about, me, I like to dive into data and trends. And I thought about diving into those types of things to help support a play. Like the reality is there are so many trends out there for Super Bowl. I think it's kind of pointless because you can find any number of trends to give you like that confirmation bias, and really support any angle you like for the game. So I'm just like going with what I see with my own eyes here instead of looking at trends. And it's just been apparent to me for a while now. Like, I think the 2 best teams in the NFL this season are the Rams and the Seahawks. And I've felt that way for a while now. And if you agree with me on that premise, I just don't think it's a good idea to like try and get cute and thread the needle and take the Patriots plus 4.5. Like, if you think the Patriots can win this game, absolutely roll with Tito. Like that'd be a good way to do it. But like, could Seattle win this game by 4 or less? Absolutely. But like, I just think the Seahawks, I think they're going to win the game, and it's not like they're laying over a touchdown. You don't need them to win in some blowout fashion. So I'm not overthinking this. Like, if forced to pick the team that covers, I would go Seattle -4.5. But yeah, Danny B says, who wants to be that guy in the under during a Super Bowl party, though? LOL. I'll tell you though, what, Danny B, that sounds like a winning gambler to me, because a lot of other people are going to be betting overs in this game. I certainly got some overs and props I like, but just in general, if you're looking at dogs, looking at unders, I think that's a good way to go. Better than you in the chat saying Seahawks easy win. Tito, he's up against you. What do you say?
Of course, this guy's up against me. This guy's an absolute fraud. I'm glad to see that he actually knows how to spell something now. He was the guy that was attacking Tito about a month or so ago and couldn't type right. So I'm not surprised that this guy is going after me and going against me. I don't understand the logic, though, from your perspective. You're the data and analytical guy. You can't use your eyes when you have the expertise and the knowledge that you have. You research everything else to the nth degree. You're not going to research this. You're not going to hedge. You're not going to look for the sharp play here. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not a fan of you going with any data. So big whoop on that. So I'm glad I'm fading you with the Patriots and not going with you related to the Seahawks, because again, Sam Darnold is an absolute fraud. He's going to crap his pants. You heard it here. Obviously you didn't hear it here first from Tito. We've been talking about Sam Darnold and what an absolute fraud this guy is. We've been waiting for him to kind of crap the bed, but he's finally made it to his first Super Bowl. So I'm not optimistic about the Seahawks, and I'm going to fade your takes totally without a doubt, Eric.
Man, I'm going to be so pissed if I finally given in on Darnold and said I'm wrong, and this he's now a stud. And then if he shits the bed in the Super Bowl, I'm going to be so pissed when my money is on him. Yeah, Landon said 16 legs. He's dying over there. That's amazing for B. Fishman. And the Godson says, I think the Seahawks get it done, hoping it's an exciting game. Just looking at crazy props. Yeah, the Godson, he likes to have some fun when he gambles. I'm really just, I'm just really hardcore. I want to win so freaking bad. But here's the thing now, like with legal sports gambling here in Missouri, yes, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick who covers, I would take Seattle -4.5. But there's a lot of ways you can get creative now and find a way into the angle you like, rather than just texting a bookie and saying, I want Seattle -4.5 because that's the only option you have. That's not our reality anymore. We have all these different options out there. So my bet for the side's already in for this game. And your boy here has Seattle on the money line at -120. And you're wondering, how the hell did you get Seahawks money line -120? Because the current money line price is -240. Well, I'll tell you, I was watching the NFC Championship game. It was the third quarter. Remember the Rams muffed that punt? I can't remember the dude's name, but he muffed the punt when he fell down. And the Seahawks got the ball.
Ante Hurricane.
It might have been Al-Sakim. God, bad flashbacks there. Oh, Jesus. But that gave the ball to the Seahawks in the red zone. As soon as I saw that, the Seahawks were up by 4 points at the time. I pulled up the odds for the team to win the Super Bowl. On the very next play, Darnold threw a touchdown. Seahawks go up by 11. And at that moment, I immediately fired a bet on the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl at -120. That is the kind of edge you got to be looking for if you want to be profitable in sports gambling. I logged that bet in the Action Network too right away, so people that follow me could get that notification. It's just yes, that could have backfired. The Rams could have came back and won the game, and I lose that bet. But I just thought that was a really good time to strike, because I didn't want to dick around with the spread, because I knew I was going to have 2 weeks to think about it and be like, I don't know what the hell to do with this, whatever the number is going to be. Seattle money line -120. Yes, please. So you got to look for opportunities like that. And also these sports books like DraftKings have so many great offers this week where you can boost your odds on certain aspects of the game. I know you'll have a boost, Tito. DraftKings had an offer this week. For example, player to have the most passing yards in the game. And Darnold is a pretty significant favorite in that market. But using DraftKings, I was able to boost up the odds by 50% to get him at +113 in that market. So, could that bet lose? Yes, of course it could. But, I'm taking something that was around -140, and now I'm getting plus money on it. That's an edge. So, guys, if you're watching, keep an eye out this week for stuff like that. There will be offers like that on the books. And I'm not saying you blindly bet every single one, but I know I'm looking for opportunities like that and logging them in the Action Network app if I see a good one and bet it. I'll see some of these that are they're around plus 300 and you could boost it up to like plus 350. I'm not betting that. Like they're trying to target degenerates with that. But like, if you see something that's pretty significant minus odds and you could boost it up to plus money, that's something I want to target. So Tito, what do you think about that topic? Like, it's almost like you want to find these coupons. You got the Val pack, right? That you get in your mailbox that has all these freaking coupons in it. Most of them are shit, but you might have 2 or 3 of them in there. You go, hey, I want to cash these in. So like, yeah, what do you think on that topic?
Yes, go back to what you said. That I guess the plus 300, if you boost that up to maybe plus 350, those are the degenerate plays. I would think that the play that you just made in regards to picking the Seahawks when the Rams muffed that punt, that screams more of a degenerate play for Tito.
I think it's sharp, maybe.
It's a sharp. I understand it might be sharp, but it's also kind of degenerate because you're betting, you're looking for any sort of edges. And so that's been my philosophy. And so I don't have the time nor the energy to kind of follow those. But to your point, and like listen, Action Network's not a sponsor of ours, so we've tried and we would love them to be a sponsor, but they're not. But if you have guys like Eric that you trust or that you can value in regards to having a track record to be successful and not just give you some nonsensical plays, that's why you would want to follow someone like Eric or Mr. Sharp, because of the fact that once they blog that bet, you can also take advantage of something like that. He sees an edge when, hey, look, the Seahawks are minus 120, to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to have a chance to win since the Rams muffed that punt. And so all of a sudden you get the best of a number. So, and like you said, if there's other boosts that are going to be coming up over the next several days, take advantage of those as well and kind of follow the people that you trust and that you value, and then kind of tail what they're doing. And then, like I said, don't bet on everything, and don't take a plus 300 and boost it up to plus 500, because like Eric said, those are bets that probably most likely will not cash, and the book is just looking for you to lose some money. So I definitely like to play, and kind of what Eric and Sean have told me over the last several months is, if you want to boost the play, finding something that's minus money, and then be able to boost it into a plus money. That would be better suited for what we're trying to accomplish here for someone like Tito.
It's a great point. And like, look, I have one kid. I have a very flexible job. Right. I have time to look at all this stuff. You have 6 kids, a job, an MBA you're going after. You're coaching 5 billion teams. I got more time. This is kind of I take a lot of pride in this. I don't usually there's times I'm just busy and I'll just post a play in the Action Network app. I don't give any reasoning, but I usually will put in a stat or 2 in there with my reasoning of why I like a particular play, because I'm trying to help people. And there's people that I respect that I follow, whether it's on Twitter or Action Network, that I'll see them post a play. Usually I will not blindly bet it. I'll check it out and vet it for myself. And if I agree with it, I'll be like, all right, yeah, let's roll with that. And that's how I've gotten some of these college basketball unders the last couple weeks, is follow people I respect. And I got to say, I've been on point. There's been some plays that they've, posted or logged in the Action Network. I check it out. I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's a great edge. And I've been right more times than not lately. And I know this is going to turn probably at some point, but this is, again, why I keep a long track record, just to show over the course of a year and a half, like, I'm going to win. I feel good about it. So yeah, ride me, Tito. Ride me, Daddy. I'm here to help you make money. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'll ride your butthole. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy.
Let's see. Danny B in the chat says the 2 numbers of my avatar was New England's opponent record. I was wondering what that was. I thought it was Mike Vrabel. I couldn't tell, but it's another factor why I like Seattle. And like, look, the Patriots have been playing great in the playoffs. Obviously, you're playing playoff teams, but just their offense has not looked impressive. It's another reason I'm on Seattle. I know the Denver game was just a one-off. That second half was like playing a freaking blizzard. Like that was ridiculous, but they couldn't do much against the Chargers. CJ Stroud just kept giving the ball back to the Patriots or letting the Patriots score defensive touchdowns. I just think Seattle's a much cleaner team just across the board, and that's a big reason I like them. The Gott's on a few of his plays here in the chat. Over 2.5 players to record a touchdown pass at plus 900. Okay. Each team, so like a Philly special type play, potentially. Don't mind that. Each team to score a touchdown and a field goal each half, plus 1,400. Shaheed over 70 alt yards, plus 880. A few of the fun ones I have right now. I will say, Shaheed, if you're going to bet overs on him, bet over on his yards. Do not bet over on his catches. I cashed an under on him in his last game. I believe it was under 1.5 or under 2.5 catches. And first drive of the game, he catches a bomb that goes for like 50 or 60 yards. But I'm like, that's okay. That was just his first catch of the game. But if you faded his yardage, you lost immediately.
It's
so if you're gonna fade, if you're gonna bet on Shaheed, bet the yardage, not the catches. Let's see. Better than you says and birds. Don't really know what that would be referring to. He says Seahawks easy win and birds. I don't know. Better than you has a track record of not being very clear in his chat, Tito.
He's a fraud. What can I tell you?
Babe Truth, welcome to the chat. He says Kellen Thames doesn't get enough minutes, even though he's at least. It's just, I think he might referring to some
a little bit.
Yeah, referring to something else. I think they're managed. You got to manage those minutes. He had the cramping issue, the weird medical issue last year. Like Kellen Thames is like a Ferrari that you have in your garage that you want to bring out only when you really need it. And the other times you just want to kind of cruise around with him, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I like that analogy, but I also like what Babe Ruth said too. Oh, getting the soft guy just thinking about that one. Whoa. Sorry. It's late, folks. Tito's tired. I've been up since 5:15 this morning. I got this damn new puppy that I'm having to take out every 3 hours too. What a big woof. You want to talk about busy? My goodness.
Oh my God. He's always adding. You're never subtracting, always adding to the Ulrich clan over there in South City. Well, let's get you talking about some props in this game, Tito, because I think that's where you're going to find more value than betting the side of the total in most cases. So we got a few picked out, 3 each. So Dr. Prop, I'm starting with you. I know you love your prop plays. I cannot wait to hear these. So what are you targeting for prop number 1?
Prop number 1, everyone knows that Tito absolutely loves some different stats and some different things unique things that go on within the Super Bowl. And so, I was looking through DraftKings and I found this thing. I don't even know what it's called. It's called a scorigami. And what the hell is a scorigami, Eric? I don't even know what this is, but I see Super Bowl scorigami plus 2,500. And so I guess it's a unique score that's never occurred in Super Bowl history.
Correct.
And so it looks like that's a total Tito play. And when you have two teams like the New England Patriots and like the Seattle Seahawks, that they both have kind of questionable quarterbacks. They both kind of have good defenses. So I anticipate kind of some wonky scores. You got some special team guys that can from time to time make a big play happen. So I know there were 6 scorigamis in 2024, 1 in the playoffs. This year, there's been 4 this year. And so in the Super Bowl, you would think that this is kind of unique, right? Where it has never occurred in the Super Bowl. It's actually happened 3 times. The last time it happened, the Seattle Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, Daddy. So I like that play a lot with regards to Super Bowl scorigami plus 2,500. Maybe lay a half a unit. Maybe what did you call it earlier? Like what was it, 25-cent unit? Fifth of a unit. What a big wolf. So that's where I'm going to go with my first prop play and a little sprinkle on kind of a lottery ticket play there. What do you think about my scorigami play, Daddy?
It's certainly a fun one. Plus 2,500, so a fifth of a unit. If my math is correct, that would profit you 5 units on that. So yeah, 25 to 1. That's correct. So it's a fun one. If that's the way, I just actually see it. Yeah, Super Bowl 60 scorigami. Yes, plus 2,500. Was that the by chance the Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl?
That's exactly what it was. That the Seahawks has absolutely crushed the Broncos, and so forget the score. I think the score. I forget what the score was. I think it was like 43 to 6 or some nonsense.
Yeah,
like that.
I remember there was a safety on the first play of the game for the Broncos where I think the snap flew over Peyton Manning's head, and that you get a safety score. Your scorigami bet is alive.
You're live. You're live. Yeah,
no doubt about it. So that's a fun one from Tito. So my prop plays are a little more conventional. By the way, as we're sitting here, Brendan says in the chat, Illinois won by 40 tonight. This team's a wagon, man. They're gonna be running for a 1 seed, 84 to 44 though. I know, but in-state rivalry, I guess. I don't know. Danny B says he's on the purple Gatorade.
I like it.
He says
I like it.
He knows the water boy. I'm gonna call fraudulent on that. So my first prop, you're gonna hate this one because it's juiced. But Drake May over 6.5 rushing attempts. So my logic with this dude's been getting harassed in the playoffs. He's been sacked 15 times in the playoffs, 5 times each game. And this Seattle defense is obviously sick. I think he's going to be running for his life on several occasions because this offensive line cannot protect him. He's obviously going to have some designed runs as well because of how mobile he is. He did go under this number against the Texans with just 4 rushing attempts, but that was a game that really wasn't in doubt for a good chunk of the time because, again, CJ Stroud just kept handing the ball to the Patriots. But against the Chargers and the Broncos, where like it was a 1-possession game the vast majority of the time, he had 10 rushing attempts in each of those games. So I also think it's probably more likely than not this is a trailing game script for the Patriots, which will help this prop because May is going to use his legs to get yards when the Seattle defense is playing back and trying to, stop big plays in the passing game. So Drake May over 6.5 rushing attempts. This is where Tito gets mad at me because it's priced at minus 140 on DraftKings. Not too bad, I guess. Okay, so I would be okay with this as a standalone, but again, if you look around, it's only Wednesday. There's going to be offers coming your way. You should be able to get boosted odds on that at some point this week. I know I was able to bet this earlier this week at minus 120 with boosted odds. So really love that play. Drake May over 6.5 rushing attempts.
What about incorporating that? What about incorporating that with maybe doing a parlay? What about could you add maybe that play along with like a passing attempt play? Would that get better odds, or would that still get you kind of a low low odds in regards to minus play?
Yeah, so what I like to do when it comes to parlays like that, you'll see these offers on DraftKings, for instance, must be a 3-legged parlay that's at least plus 100 odds, and they'll let you boost it 30 to 50%. Normally, what I would normally do is take angles I like and take it. I wouldn't bet the 6.5. I might take over 5.5 in that regard, where maybe that's priced up closer to minus 250. And then I would pair it with, we were talking about that first half under. I think it's 23.5. I might boost the first half under up to 24.5 and get over that key number and make that a second leg. So basically I have 3 legs within that minus 250 to minus 300-ish range. That'll get you to your plus money, which will then allow you to boost it. I think that's a good way to attack those parlays. But yeah, it's a good question. Prop number 2, Tito. What do you got for us?
Prop number 2. So I'm gonna go with another kind of obscure little play here. Eric's is a square ass play. I'm more of a lightning rod, kind of a gambling play, like a lottery ticket play. So I'm gonna go with a jersey number less than 10.5 at plus 120. And so, everyone's going to be looking at JSN.
Is this to score the first touchdown of the game? Or what is the market exactly?
Yes, that's exactly what it is for the first touchdown of the game. And so, jersey number less than 10 for the first touchdown of the game, plus 120. Yep. And so my thinking around here is, again, Eric's talking about Drake May running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And so I anticipate them running the ball down in the red zone quite often. So if they can get an early turnover from Sam Darnold, I like the play of maybe Drake May getting into the end zone first score. So he's number 10. So that would easily hit. I also like the fact that, Vrabel is a defensive coach. And who's he going to be scheming towards? He's going to be scheming towards Jackson Smith and Jigba, and so if they're going to be doubling him, they're going to be, and so who's another guy that the Seahawks might be able to score? You got Kenneth Walker, number 9. So I like the fact that you have different opportunities from either Drake May with the Patriots or with Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks, and be able to get into the end zone. That's the first score of the game. So, and plus it's a plus money play, and so you're not going to get any of this nonsensical minus 500 plays that Eric likes to say, or like the Godson likes to provide with overs of NHL teams. So go with Tito here. Go with these plus money prop plays. Everyone knows my prop game is on point in baseball. It's going to be on point here in the Super Bowl too, Daddy.
It's a fun one. I do like if you're going to get plus money on that. I think that's a good way to do it. It actually is. I'm on the DraftKings site. If you go to novelty props, it's the very first one that shows up, at least on my page. Yeah, jersey number, first touchdown score, under 10.5, plus 120. Before I get to my second prop, Danny beat a good question here in the chat. Favorite Super Bowl food? I will start. He says party rise. So I think it's like those rye bread pizzas. I enjoy those. would say mine would be, I enjoy a Velveeta dip with chili in it, a chili cheese Velveeta Rotel dip. Give me those like either Frito scoops or their Tostitos scoops. I will scoop that shit up for the first 2 quarters, and I will come home in a food coma, Tito. I think that's my favorite.
And you'll be a double dipper too. You'll pull a George Costanza and go in there for seconds for double dips on your Tito, on your Frito big scoop. Yes, I've seen you do it before. All this nonsensical size, what party rise. I don't even know what the hell that is. What a big one. But you're talking about dips. How about just a good old classic, chicken wing? How about that? How about some Cyberg sauce wings and you're able to slap them all over? They'll be all over Tito's face. That's probably what Tito's going to be having on Sunday is some Cyberg wing sauce wings, and have all the sauces all over my boy chest, Daddy.
Yes, frozen pizza on the docket for you, Tito.
Oh no, we go all out. We order pizza. We don't do the frozen pizzas. We'll go to Cyberg's and order maybe 6 or 7 pizzas and have leftovers for about a week because Tito loves the pizza.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Throw us your favorite Super Bowl food in the chat. We got a few ones from Brendan here. Yeah, rye bread appetizers are great. But he says simple buffalo chicken or Rotel dips for me. Yeah, Rotel, like I've actually been experimenting with some cooking here because, again, I have some time. And I'm making some good recipes. And a Rotel provides a nice little flavor, Tito, a little spice in my life. I enjoy it. So does the wife.
What a big woof. Again, all these damn dips and appetizers. Get the hell out of here with what the hell are we doing, chat? I mean, where's the big dishes? Where's not the appetizers, where's the entrees? Where are the big entrees for Tito? Oh, the big pizzas. Yeah, there's one typer. There you go. Godson Thai Castle Crave Case is an absolute must. My goodness. Oh, Tito might go on a late night run tonight and pick up a crave case for Tito's holes tonight, baby. Woo, I love it.
Crave case is bad news. You're going into the office on a Monday after letting all that simmer overnight.
I love it. Yes.
You might have a remote work situation or get the crave case for the for the Sunday night Super Bowl. Let me get my second prop play. And if anyone else has other prop plays or other favorite Super Bowl dishes, I'd love to hear them and we'll share them. Kenneth Walker, I do not think is going to have a very good game on the ground. I'm not saying he can't score a touchdown. But Kenneth Walker under 73.5 rushing yards. So this Patriots run defense is nasty. Like, listen to these opposing running back stats for their first 3 playoff games. Kamani Vidal for the Chargers, 11 carries for 31 yards. Your boy, Woody Marks, 14 carries for just 17 yards. I know you're very upset with Woody Marks at the end of the fantasy season. You would not have been happy with him. And then RJ Harvey. 13 carries for 37 yards for the Broncos. So the high watermark was Harvey and his 37 yards. I know Walker's a better back than those guys, but the Patriots had the number 6 rush defense in the NFL this season. So this has been a strength for them all year long. I think Mike Vrabel, he's the kind of guy, he wants to be physical. I don't think he's going to want to let the Seahawks run all over them. So I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I hope I don't have egg on my face after this. I think this is a game Sam Darnold is going to win with his arm. Put this on the blooper reel if he shits the bed like you think he will. This dude balled out against the Rams. 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I think he's ready for this. I finally waved the white flag on this. I think Darnold is going to it's either him or JSN is going to win the MVP. I think we talk a little bit about the MVP market as well. I think it's going to be a quiet night for Walker on the ground. I like under 73.5 rushing yards on DraftKings. What do you think on that one?
No, I'm not a big old fan of that. I think, like I said, I don't trust Sam Darnold whatsoever. I don't care if he went up against a weak ass Rams defense that they're more of an offensive team nowadays. They don't have the studs at defense. They don't have the Aaron Donalds. They don't have the cornerbacks or the safeties that they once had when they won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So I think those are inflated numbers. And so I'm staying the hell away. And I will be playing this for you when Sam Darnold does shit the bed on Sunday. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy.
It'd be unbelievable for that to happen. Just the worst possible time. Brendan says Jake Bobo is plus 180 for over half a reception yard. I don't mind a dart on that. On Jake Bobo, you'll hear his name called usually at least once a game.
Who the hell is Jake Bobo? What a Who the hell is this guy? Is this guy a fullback? What is he?
I think he might be like a third string tight end for Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Not really locked into the Jake Bobo, but I know I've heard the name. Jake Bobo. It is a fun name. God, he might be on the page. No, yeah, he's a wide receiver 4 for Seattle. Jake
Okay. Bobo, yeah, okay. Yeah, well.
I mean, he had a catch against the Rams. He had a catch
Pretty
against
good.
the Niners.
Pretty good. Good
trend. I like that. Danny B says, damn, how much is Tito spending with all them kids for the Super Bowl food? I'd imagine, going to Cyber, that ain't cheap, man.
Hey, don't worry about Tito, okay? Tito's got special deals. I got people that hook up Tito, so don't even worry about where I'm going with my deals and where I'm getting my pizzas from. So let's keep your personal opinions to yourself and let Tito handle his own business, okay? Danny Boy 2281.
I gotta hear this story before we go to the last prop. So Better News says, ask Tito about basketball swimming violation.
Hey, we were gonna get to this later on before the end of the show. Okay, we'll hold off on this, but if you want to ask me about it now, we can.
Let's get to it. I mean, we're talking about it. So just in case we forget later. So a basketball swimming violation he created in his CYC basketball officiating debut.
Pretty good.
The crowd and the scores table were laughing. That's good to get a laugh from that. No 3-second violations called for all his bitching. Tito, come on, there had to be at least 1 3-second call. All right, tell me about this experience for you. So
this was a great experience. The team I was supposed to ref against didn't show up. And so they were afraid of Tito. They knew that Tito was going to hold them accountable and call 3 seconds. So this team no-showed. So we put together a little scrimmage of some 5th grade action against some 4th grade action. So Tito was able to practice his zebra skills. And so, everyone's been asking me about these different rules and analysis. And I was right at the CYC referee clinic, and I created a new rule. It's called this swimming where we're carrying the ball with both arms. And so I was doing one of these moves. And so it was a ridiculous call. Tito didn't know what the hell he was doing. I have I did one of these. I did both. I blew the whistle. And when I blow the whistle, it's one of the things that you don't appreciate when you're bitching about the zebras, is that every time you blow the whistle, you're supposed to put your arm up, right? So if there's a violation, you have a closed fist. If it's just simply, or no, that if it's a foul, it's a closed fist. If it's a violation, it's an open hand. And so I would blow the damn whistle. I'd forget to put up the fucking hand. And so, people were making fun of me. People were holding me accountable, which I rightfully so. I have a whole new appreciation for the zebras. But this guy over here was an absolute fraud. He wasn't teaching me anything. This guy, he was sitting there on the sidelines just watching, just eating his damn popcorn. He was supposed to be helping me out, and I was calling all the damn fouls. I mean, I don't know what he wants me to do. I can only be looking at one certain section of the game. So, 3 seconds in the paint, whenever I was down low seeing it, there was no 3 seconds in the paint. So, this guy wants to complain and wants to talk about Tito and make fun of Tito. That's fine. I got another game on Saturday morning that we can talk about towards the end of the show that I'm really, really excited about officiating, and I'll put the zebra strikes back on, Daddy.
That's a good story there. He says you got a soft whistle. Don't even have it in your mouth half the time. Is that accurate? Can you confirm?
That was accurate. Yeah, that was accurate. And so I was skeptical. I was a little hesitant. It was my first ever game, and you would think that the other zebra would help me out, blow the whistle a handful of times, get me comfortable, but no. This guy's just sitting over there laughing, carrying on, eating his fucking popcorn, mooching off the athletic association, eating that free pizza, all those drinks and everything. So Tito had to do all the work. And so, I was getting a little tired, a little winded. I had to get a couple of drinks of some Dr. Pepper every once in a while. So, I took the whistle out of my mouth and missed some calls. But, it's okay. Tito will learn, and I'll get better and better, Daddy.
Hey, you got to break that cherry. You got to pop that cherry, one time.
Oh, I popped it all right, Daddy, man. It was a great popping of a cherry. I'll tell you that right now here.
Was it a blowout game? Was it tight? Were you getting a little nervous, or was it nice, easy, 20
nice, easy. It was nice and easy, and it wasn't a competitive game whatsoever. And so, it wasn't they didn't put me in a high pressure situation, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, the Danny B says if Tito's referee, we're all going to be in trouble.
That's right. Yeah, come on over to Stars. I'll tee you up. Anyone wants to come and try to hold Tito accountable with the Super Bowl picks, with Eric's Super Bowl picks, I'll tee you up, Daddy.
Well, give us your third Super Bowl prop pick, Tito. I want to get a winner out of these. Either the jersey number, the first touchdown score being under 10.5, Super Bowl scoregami, where the Patriots covering this number. That's what Tito's Super Bowl card is so far. I'd imagine you're creative here for your third one as well. So what is your third prop, Tito?
Everyone knows I can't stand Sam Darnold. This guy is Charmin soft. I think he's going to get hurt. And so my play is looking at total players that have a pass attempt at plus 190. And so, again, Sam Darnold's an absolute fraud. Like I said, he'll probably break a nail. He'll probably tell the Seahawks coach, oh, I can't go in until they have to bring in the backup, throw a couple passes. Drake May's been hurt a handful of times as well this season. So, the backups do have a little bit of they do have some familiarity with the offenses that they're running. So I'm going with, again, total players to have a pass attempt over. I think it's over 2.5 is where it is at plus 190. So that's where I'm going with my last prop play, and I definitely think this one has a very good likelihood of succeeding.
Yeah, I like that one, not just for the injury risk, but just this is the Super Bowl, baby. You got to empty
Right.
the playbook. You have these
Right.
end around reverses, backwards pass, what have you, and then the receiver chucks one down the field. Yeah, that's a very popular one, but a really fun one, I think, that a lot of people bet for the Super Bowl. Good chance that puppy hits. I'll probably do Hunter Henry first touchdown from the Godson. Yeah, the Hunter Henry. That's definitely somebody Drake May looks to in the end zone. So my final prop pick for the Super Bowl, I said I don't like Kenneth Walker on the ground, but I do think he gets his in the air. So I'm actually on Kenneth Walker over 21.5 receiving yards. So he's been very involved in the passing game, especially since Zach Charbonnet has been out. Walker's cleared this number in 4 of the last 5 games, really without a sweat. Like his receiving yardage totals, these 4 winners in the last 5 games, 64, 36, 29, and 49. And I was on this same bet in the NFC Championship game. He had a cash before the end of the first quarter. So I just think he's become a really good security blanket for Darnold. We know he's going to be out there a ton with Charbonnet continuing to be out. And 2 catches probably gets this done because he averages 11 yards per reception. The game that I cite how he's hit this number 4 out of the last 5. The one he didn't, he still had 2 catches, but I believe it was the Panthers they were playing, did a good job of getting him on the ground. He didn't clear this number, but he's very involved in the passing game. It might only take 1 catch if he busts a big one. So I really like this play. It's in pocket for me. Kenneth Walker over 21.5 receiving yards on DraftKings. And Tito, I hope he gets a touchdown pass that he takes into the end zone for the first score of the game, and then we will celebrate together.
Absolutely. That's a good call out. Like that, like a little screen pass, maybe something like that, where they can get him out into the flat and take care of some business. Get those big lumberjacks out there blocking for him and creating some space.
That's right, baby. Well, I got other props I'm going to be on as well, but a reminder, get all of our official plays on the free Action Network app. Follow me with the username eSontag, Tito, the username TitoBets, and Sean, not with us this week, unfortunately, Mr. Sharp 4499. We talked a little bit of college hoops earlier. Let's dive a little bit more into this matchup with the Billikens on Saturday against the Salle. So throw your thoughts on the Billikens in the chat. We'll talk about it. They get it done last night. They come back from 13 down at Davidson to win by 9. Maybe they covered the spread depending on what number you got. I actually bet Davidson plus 9.5 the day before the game, so I won by the hook. I think it closed at 8.5 for most people.
Oh,
so that was one of those. That was a good one for me to win that one. But this is why you don't complain about bad beats, because you have things like that fall your way. But SLU, 22-1 overall, 10-0 in the A10. They're number 16 in the net. They've won 16 games in a row. It should be 17 on Saturday because LaSalle is coming to town. The Explorers, they always bring a guy dressed in a Gumby costume that travels with the team and is always like he's there like a season ticket holder, not just on the home, but on the road. He's almost like the St. Joe's Hawk. He's just there, Gumby. He will see him in the crowd on Saturday. So no line for this game yet, but my guy Ken Pom projects it 86-62 for the Billikens. So this is going to be a massive spread. About SLU minus 24, 25. Total is going to be around like 148 to 150, somewhere in that range. I got a lot in this game. Tito, I'm going to let you go first and just give me your take, because otherwise I would like take the show over for like 5 minutes. Because again, my best bet is on this game. But I want to hear what you have to say about it first, and I'll kind of break down what my play is.
Yeah, I think Saturday afternoon. I mean, the Billikens have had a couple of plays. They what was the game? They had the whiteout, which they took care of business. It wasn't even a sweat
Yeah,
against Dayton. But other than that, the last two games besides that one have kind of been a little bit of a sweat going on, going through what's been going on through this kind of the dog days of the A10 schedule. So I definitely like the fact that they're coming back home against this LaSalle bunch, which is an absolute fraud of a university. Why the hell are they a Division I team? This team's never around, never legitimate. So big woof to this team. What's their nickname? I don't even know what their nickname is.
The Explorers.
They're Explorers. You should be exploring the bottom of a dumpster. That's what you should be exploring. LaSalle. So what a big woof. So I'm gonna stay away from a big number like 24 or 25. But I would probably go. I like the Billiken over on points.
Their team total.
The team total over.
Yeah.
So I think I like that play. This team's consistently scoring in 90 plus points a game. So give me an over of team total for the Billikens. That's where I would be leading for this matchup.
Yeah, I like that. I thought about that, but I have a different angle. I actually just looked it up though with LaSalle. Did you know they reached a Sweet 16 as recently as 2015?
Oh, shut your lips. I don't even give a rip. That's an absolute fraud of a take. I don't care. 2013. That was like 13 years ago, Daddy. What have you done for me lately, LaSalle?
They were a 13 seed in that tournament and made it to the Sweet 16, led by Coach Dr. John Giannini, which I think he might be an announcer now, Dr. John Giannini. But God damn, I think they were one of those first four teams. As well, yes, they were in that first four. That's another thing we'll talk about that when we get to the tournament. A first four team is going to win at least a couple games and get to at least the round of 32. So look out for that. So Matt Rocky and I talked about this on the post-game show last night. I think this looks ripe for it over. It's going to be packed at Chaffetz again, so these guys are going to be amped up. LaSalle, they play slow. They're 312th in the country in average possession length, another one of my favorite stats. But the Billikens, they should be able to dictate pace here because the talent disparity is just so wide. So the first meeting ended 84-72, so 156 points. So definitely a strong lean on the over, up to 152.5. I may very well bet that, but the more I thought about it, I found another angle. Obviously, I want to see what the actual number comes out at, but assuming it is a halfway decent number, this is my best bet for the show. I have no interest in laying, about 25 for the full game. But I think SLU is going to cover the spread in the first half. I think that's the move for this game, and it's my best bet for this week. So like I said, packed house at Chaffetz, they're going to come out fired up. But the main thing is, literally every time the Billikens have had a close call this season, they have come out and put it on a team early the next game. And let me just walk you through this, Tito. So they had the 1 point win over Santa Clara back in November. The next night they play Stanford. And yes, they did lose that game, but SLU was up by 11 at the half in that game. So easily covered the first half number. In fact, they easily covered the first half spread in all of these games I'm about to rattle off. You cite a couple of those close calls recently that are in this list. So they lose the heartbreaker to Stanford. Next game on the road at Loyola Marymount. It was supposed to be a tight game. SLU was favored by about 7.5 in that game. Billikens were up by 16 at the half. So you got that one. Then they had a little bit of a sweat at home against San Francisco. Next game, Bethune-Cookman. Billikens were ahead by 34 points at halftime. just ridiculous. A little bit later, they go to VCU. They come back and win that game on the road after falling behind with a few minutes to go. Next game, on the road at the same LaSalle Explorers with Gumby in the crowd. SLU is up by 20 at the break. A couple weeks ago, they survive at Duquesne. What do they do next time out? They hit like 1 billion threes in the first half. They just destroyed the Bonnies. It was 58-26 at half. And then finally, this is the game Sean and I were at a week ago, the GW game, where they have to rally and they get the win. A few nights later, the Dayton game, Billikens put it on them. It was a 17-point margin at halftime. So like SLU is coming out like a freaking ball of fire in the first half after they're having close calls, like the one they had at Davidson last night. So I think this is an absolute beatdown for at least the first 20 minutes. on Saturday. But again, I don't want to mess with the garbage time when it's going to be about a 25-point spread for the full game, and you're hoping that the backups and walk-ons, hang on to that lead. So my best bet for this show, SLU to cover the first half spread on Saturday against LaSalle. I would take this up to minus 16.5. I think it's going to come out around minus 14 or so. But I love that angle just with the data, Tito. I didn't look at data for the Super Bowl, but for this bet, I'm pretty sure the Billikens are just beating the shit out of everybody in the first half after all their close calls, and I was indeed correct.
Give me the data, put it all over my face. I mean, that's why you're the GOAT. That's why you're the Iron Man, Daddy, right there, because of the analysis like that. And when you have a team like LaSalle that listen, folks, it's over. They're coming into St. Louis. They got road stomped by a SLU when SLU came to town. I think they've lost 3 or 4 games in a row.
Yes.
So it's not like LaSalle is kind of having a little bit of life coming, getting back into the A10. They're not. So I definitely think this is ripe for a SLU. That's why Eric's the GOAT. Like I said, that's why he's the Iron Man. So love the analysis, love the data, love the stats, and I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see how they bounce back, especially in that first half, and especially at home when you're going to have a fired up fan base that's going to be representing SLU, and hopefully the boys come out and light it up from the very get go.
It's another reason I like doing this show where we focus on home teams for part of it, because we are experts on our teams. When you watch them game in and game out,
sure,
we know more about them than the sports books do in most cases. Yeah. And so really find some good edges there. And I think that's a really, really good one that I found for Saturday. Let's talk about the other local team. I know we got Illinois too, but they just played tonight. But Missouri, let's talk about the Tigers. And our Mizzou coverage here on Domesticated Gamblers is brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. And guys, I cannot speak highly enough about this guy because he's going to take great care of you and he can save you a bunch of money. And that's exactly what you want in your insurance agent. I made the switch late in 2024. I got in touch with his office, got a quote. Turns out I could save over $800 over the course of the year by having my home and auto insurance with James Carlton and State Farm, as opposed to my old agent who was quoting me this massive increase for no reason at all, it appeared. So I made the switch. It was a super easy process that James and his team took care of. Had an extra $800 in my pocket last year because of it, and I'm also paying less here in 2026 than I did in 2025. And I know if anything ever happens to me and I need their help, I'm going to be in great shape because James Carlton has 479 5-star reviews on Google now. I mean, that is crazy when you think about it. We don't usually think that much about who our insurance agent is, but James Carlton's got 479 people vouching for him, not just me. So it really is a big time recommendation to get a quote from James Carlton and State Farm. And when you get that quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or STL Sports Central. James is going to make a $20 donation to Mizzou's preferred NIL fund, which is the Will to Win Fund. So go to carltoninsurance.net or call 314-961-4800 if your insurance costs a leg and an arm. Call James Carlton, State Farm. All right, guys, let's talk Mizzou. They're back in action on Saturday on the road at South Carolina. This is a really big game for the Tigers' NCAA tournament hopes. I know this team has been frustrating to watch. They're still 15-7 overall. They're 5-4 in the SEC. And those wins over Kentucky and especially Florida are aging very, very well. The Gators are up to number 12 in the net rankings. So 9 games to go. I think going 10-8 in this league would be good enough to get them in the tournament. So that's 5-4 the rest of the way. So they're going to have to steal at least 1 road game, probably 2. God forbid, but it's possible maybe even 3 if they want to get to 10-8. And this, in my opinion, is the most winnable road game left on the schedule. Again, so South Carolina on Saturday. This spread's going to come out right around a pick 'em. It's probably going to be about 1.5 points either way. Ken Pom projects it 75-74 for the Cox. So total is going to be about 149. So give us your thoughts on the Tigers in the chat if you got them. Tito, start with you. Tough one to call. But what do you think here?
It's a real tough one to call. And, looking through, I was looking through this matchup earlier this afternoon, and I was just looking at the standings, and, you hear me a lot complain about, Dennis Gates and, calling him a fraud of a coach and, But let's bring the tone down a little bit, because they're right in the middle of the pack for the SEC. This is exactly where you would expect them to be for most of the seasons. All right, they're not going to be a top 10 team every single year, unfortunately. As much as I would want that, or as much as the Mizzou fans would want that, that's probably not realistic when you have the Alabamas of the world, the Kentuckys of the world, the Floridas of the world. So, I definitely like them being in the middle of the pack, and you're going up against a South Carolina team that is not very good. I mean, I know it's on the road, but like Eric said, if you want to make the postseason and you want to be one of those last teams selected, it's not going to be a conference where you're going to have 12 or 13 teams in this, that are going to make the tournament this year specifically. So I agree with you. They got to come back with a strong performance to this weekend at South Carolina. It was an absolute dud of a performance. Was it the last performance where they just got they got rocked by Alabama, right? That's
2 games ago.
2 games ago, they lost by like 15 or 16 points. So, I definitely don't. I'm not a big fan of some of these guys on the roster. I was just pulling it up while you were giving that breakdown. I think Trent Burns, this guy's 7 foot tall, but this guy's also just totally charming stuff. Reminds me of the Haley twins from the early 90s. I mean, this guy, what an absolute fraud that kid is. But hopefully they can have some more scoring from other guys within the conference or within the team. So I don't really have an analysis on the game, but I'm hoping for a Mizzou victory on the road at South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm actually optimistic on this one. And I like what you said there at the beginning about, like, I feel like I've been guilty of it myself, just really hating on Missouri with the schedule they played in the non-conference. I think part of this too is SLU is just so damn good, and just the way they play is so beautiful. And then I watch Missouri and I'm like, what is this garbage? Like, but they're still finding ways to grind out results.
Right.
I mean, beating Kentucky, beating Florida, the Auburn win is aging pretty well. Too. So I do think the Tigers get it done here on Saturday. And the main reason is, like, and I dig into Ken Palm on this, South Carolina is not set up to exploit the weaknesses that Missouri has. So obviously, we see the free throw shooting for Mizzou. There's nothing we can do about that. I mean, that is what it is. But there are other weaknesses. They turn the ball over way too much. The Tigers do. They rank 251st out of 365 teams in turnover rate. Good news is, though, South Carolina ranks just 325th in forcing turnovers. So they don't really get after you defensively. Yeah, pretty good. And then on defense for the Tigers, they're god-awful defending the three. They're 306 in the country. Well, fortunately, the Cox cannot shoot the rock. They're number 297 in three-point field goal percentage.
Pretty good.
Also pretty good. South Carolina, not very strong with the interior defense either. I think this is a game Mark Mitchell should have a really good game because South Carolina, their 2-point field goal percentage defense ranks 201st in the country.
Jesus.
So this team is pretty hot garbage.
Pretty good.
I do think it's going to be tight. It's going to be frustrating, but South Carolina is not a difficult place to play. This is not going to be a very hostile environment. Right. I don't think this is going to make my card on Saturday, but definitely my lean would be Mizzou to get this done and cover the number. Do I think they're going to make the tournament? I would bet against it if I could, but I just don't think. I don't think this team is quite as bad as we make it out to be. Sometimes I think it's kind of what you're getting at too.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? I mean, would I want them to make the tournament every single year? Absolutely. I mean, as a Tiger fan for my entire life, I would absolutely want to see them make the tournament. But we're not in the days of Frank Haith and violation after violation, or Kim Anderson that go and win this, or even Conzo Martin go and win this in the SEC. So those days are over, it appears. So at least we're kind of holding our head above water, and if we can just get hot, maybe something magical can happen and make the tournament be and all that fun stuff. So yeah, let's see a big W. And I know Oklahoma took them to the wire, and they're winless in the SEC, and the Tigers are at home. But maybe that's just a little blip. So hopefully they can take care of business on Saturday. Yep,
just win, baby. I don't care how they do it.
Just
doesn't
win.
have to be pretty. Just win, baby.
Right.
It's a couple comments in the chat from Danger83 Danger. Welcome to the chat here. Does everyone in the media, I guess myself included, picking the Seahawks? 70+% of the tickets on them, and the line is stuck at 4.5. Yeah, I cannot wait to take the Patriots. Hopefully it moves up to +5. Darnold being so good against the Rams makes him more likely he turns into a pumpkin when you least expect it. So Darnold,
That's right.
I get that point, but like I've been saying this all year long that like I just kept waiting for it and waiting for it. And I'm going to be such an asshole like if he does doing this. And I told you so. And it's just, it wouldn't stun me. This is what I'm saying. Like, find other ways to get creative if you like Seattle and don't necessarily take the 4.5. A good example was the national championship game in Indiana. I didn't want to lay 7.5 on Indiana. I'm just like, that is so trappy. Like, so what I did is I took Indiana in some parlays at -2.5 with an alternate spread.
Okay.
Miami covers the game, the actual spread, because I think they lost by 5 or 6, so they cover the number. But I won my bets because I had Indiana -2.5. I think this could be a similar situation where Seattle wins the game but does not cover the number. So I would prefer putting Seattle in some of your parlays. Now, I don't mean, when I say parlays, I don't mean B. Fishman and 16 leggers like lottery tickets. I mean like 2 legs, maybe 3, to get something down to about even money plus 100 or around that, -110. Or obviously, if you could take advantage of a boost offer to get something like it even money, then you could boost it up to plus 130, plus 150. That's what I'm talking about. Like, include Seattle money line in your parlays, because I would not be stunned at all if this game ends with Seattle winning by 4 or less. I mean, would you agree?
I would agree. I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's going to be a close game. But didn't you guys talk about this last week too? That Mr. Sharp kind of mentioned it a handful of times as well in regards to kind of not exposing yourself to one side of the one side where if you're looking to hedge, you can kind of sprinkle some things in. Don't just totally violently pick the Patriots and bet Patriots all the way. Kind of protect yourself in certain aspects.
Yes, what I'm saying is be very careful with. I know a lot of times you hear people say like, I feel like this game script or this game flow, this is how I envision it going. And a lot of times people will put in a lot of different bets, all correlated to that game script that they envision. If you are wrong on how that game script goes, you can really lose your ass. And it's that exact Super Bowl you were talking about with the scoregami earlier with the Broncos and the Seahawks back after the 2013 season. It was when Peyton Manning set all those records. That was you traded him to me in fantasy football. Tito, I won't belabor that point on a show with people that don't play fantasy football with us. But I remember that first snap of the game goes over Peyton's head out of the end zone for safety. I had all these different bets correlated with the Broncos winning the game. And I'm like, oh shit. And within immediately, I'm like, I'm toast. So I lost my ass on that Super Bowl. And that is a lesson I have not forgotten. So I have a good amount of prop bets for this game, but I don't think they're necessarily correlated with the game going one way or the other. Okay. You know what I mean? So like, it's really, they're kind of our standalones. But that's just something. I made a lot of mistakes in my time with sports gambling. This was, 12 years ago, that Super Bowl. I will never forget that feeling of just like, I was so wrong on how this could go. So just be careful with that. You're going to bet a lot in this game. Find different ways to do it, different props that are not exactly correlated. That's the way I would recommend doing it. If you want to go big or go home and put a lot of bets on a game with the game script that you envision and you cash on it, I tip my cap. Godspeed. I tend to lean more conservative when it comes to sports gambling. And just really, I don't want to lose my ass. I'm trying to be profitable. I'm not trying to get rich here like B. Fishman, because he's ice cold, brother, I guess, with his 16-team parlay.
Well, and then on top of that too, now that you have these different options too, I mean, I'm sure if you do have, if your game script does move to what you weren't expecting, there's probably some live bets that you can probably hedge as well and kind of sprinkle that in as well if you're exposed one way or the other.
Yep. Yeah. Good discussion there on the Super Bowl. Yeah. Danger 83 Danger. Thanks for your participation. Tito, got anything else on the board that stands out to you before we get to best bets, or should we just get into our best bets now?
We could talk about a little CYC third grade basketball action. I don't know if you want to some D League action. They don't even put the scores up on the scoreboards. What an absolute fraud of a league this is. So Tito's going to be referencing this third grade boys basketball team. It's his kids' school. They're going up against Our Lady of the Lords. These teams are both lining it up. I think the over under on these games is probably going to be about 30.5. I think if I had to guess, Some of these teams are scoring 40-plus points a game. Other teams are scoring 1 point a game. I mean, it's an absolute fraud of a league. So I know SCCA is going – they're 1-3. I mean, who the hell is this coach going 1-3 in third grade basketball while All Lady of Lords is 2-2? So I know SCCA just won their first game of the season a couple of weeks ago, and Lords is on a 2-game losing streak. So, I'm sure the money will be flying over at Our Lady of Stars early, 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, where Tito will be reffing and put it on the zebra stripe. So that's the only other play except for my best bet that I would want to discuss or kind of have some analysis on. But I digress.
Tito's team will lose. Bad coaching.
Wow. Yeah, just call me right out. What an absolute fraud. I got 2 games on Saturday over at Stars. I got one at 10 and one at 2. So if I can get my damn kids to run the fucking offense, the 1-3-1 offense, they don't even cut to the basket, Eric. Everything's going around the perimeter. Right? We're not a shooting team. We got to get the ball down low and make our easy buckets. I tried telling the boys all day long, listen, we're not going to make 3-point shots. We're not the Billikens. We're not going to make 19 threes in one game, okay? Let's get the ball to the rim. Let's get it down low. Let's force the Zebras to blow the fucking whistle, get to the line, hit our free throws, and go home happy with the W. But these boys, they just want to sling it around the perimeter. They won't cut to the basket. They won't do anything that the coach is telling them. So I'm absolutely fired up, and my goodness, I don't know what else to say about CYC basketball, but Tito's the GOAT, and Tito knows what the hell he's doing, so people just need to listen to Tito.
Gotta watch those Billikens, because you notice, they'll fire their fair share of threes, no doubt about it, but their goal is to get to the rim. Like, they want the threes to come within the offense of getting to the rim. So that's
draw the defense in and then kick it out. Yeah, absolutely.
I think back to even playing pickup basketball back in the day, and I'd be taking these stupid 15-foot jump shots or these fadeaway jumpers. I'm like, get to the effing rim. You get to the rim, get a layup. You're so much
totally different game, though. I mean, that was when we were watching Michael Jordan with the mid-range jumper, the fadeaway jumper that he fucking perfected. So that was a totally different age, and the 3-point shot's a lot more dynamic. It's a lot more popular nowadays. Yeah. So the game has changed. But I agree with you, right? Get the ball down to the rim, make the defense collapse, kick it out, and have some open looks. But these boys don't want to go to the hard areas. They don't want to get hurt. They're Charmin soft. I'm trying to muscle them up. I'm trying to beat them down to try to build them back up to get some 1-2. But they just want to keep the ball around the perimeter and wait for an open shot. Well, guess what? Not going to happen if you're just waiting for something to happen. You got to make it happen, Daddy. So
you got to make it happen. I wanted to verify this note from Danger 83 Danger. I was looking it up as you were talking. He is correct. So this is the Seahawks stud starting safety, finalist for the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year award. Rolled his ankle at practice. That is not a good vibe. I think that could help your Patriots play there. Tito, sometimes you'll see some weird stuff happen the week of the Super Bowl. It could really impact the game. I saw Drake May was a full participant in practice today. I know he's fighting a shoulder thing. I don't know, man. There could be some weird things that happen that dictate the outcome of this game for sure.
Who's the guy that has the strained oblique? Is that Darnold?
Darnold did have a strained oblique, I believe, for the both playoff games, but it clearly did not impact him. But I haven't heard anything about that since the NFC Championship game. But never know, man. It's the NFL. You're going to see some drama happen for sure. Sure. I have one more play I want to give to the people before we get to our best bets, but you already know mine. But I think I want to do this throughout the month of February. But we love to root for human failure on this show. I don't know if you've heard me and Sean talk about this with the unders. So I want to give out my gross, disgusting under of the week in college basketball. And like I said towards the top of the show, betting a lot of college hoops right now, very successfully. I get all my plays in the free Action Network app. Again, the username esontag. But I want to give out the under that is just the ugliest one that I like on the board for tomorrow. And there's a lot of ugly games on a Thursday slate most weeks, as you may have noticed. And I see a game at 5 p.m. tomorrow in the America East Conference between Albany and Bryant. Okay, this is where I'm going for my ugly, disgusting under of the week. Again, there are 365 teams in D1 in this country. These teams, Albany and Bryant, are ranked number 331 and number 347 in the net. So these are two shitty teams. These teams are god-awful. And that stat I like to look for in Ken Palm when I'm betting unders, average possession length, Tito. So that means how much of the shot clock does a team use on average? It makes sense, right? If you're using a lot of the shot clock and you're a shitty offensive team and missing shots, hello under. So Albany ranks number 335 in average possession length. Bryant is even slower, number 345 in the country in that department. So they play slow. They cannot make shots. 3-point field goal percentage. Albany, number 323 in the country. Bryant, number 362. And just for good measure, Tito, got to hit your free throws in February. Well, Albany is one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country, under 65% from the line. They rank 360th out of 365 teams. So I love this angle. Your gross, disgusting under of the week. I've already betted Albany and Bryant under 135.5. I would take this all the way down to 130. Get on this with me, Tito. This is gross.
This is gross. This is real super gross and real dirty. Like I like it. I might give a toilet take about this play. My goodness. And that should be a segment. We need to incorporate that type of segment. Forget best bets. What's it called? The dirtiest under of the week. I mean, I love that. That's a dynamic segment you just created there on the spot. So I love that play. I'm going to hop on with you, and maybe I'll sprinkle a little dollar bet on that on DraftKings for you, Daddy.
Yeah, I guess it's a working title, but yeah, I'm going with the gross, disgusting under of the week.
Albany, I like it.
Albany and Bryant, 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Maybe we I don't know. Maybe we get like a hair salon or maybe a plumbing company to sponsor that, and I think they'll like that kind of play. So I love. And again, listen to Eric with all of his stats and his analysis. I mean, ranking 360 out of 365 those numbers are rivaling my CYC 5th grade basketball team. We can't hit our free throws, and so hearing under 65%, what a big whoop. I mean, what kind of program is this? You want to hear Tito talk about how LaSalle shouldn't be a Division I program. Albany was the other team. Albany and whoever else. Bryant. Yeah, that Bryant. Didn't the Tigers play Bryant earlier this season?
Yeah, they might have. Either this season or last season.
Somebody played Bryant earlier this season or last season. What an absolute fraud. What a big whoop. So love that play. Dynamite analysis. Love the stats. And I'm going to tell you on that one for sure.
Well, let's get to those best bets. I almost made that my best bet. So if you got one, if you got one, throw it in the chat. I'd be happy to talk about it. You already know mine with the Billikens to cover the first half spread on Saturday against the Salle. Again, I would take that up to -16.5. We'll get Tito's best bet, and then we'll get out of here. Blue Central post-game show will be coming up in a little bit. It's looking like the boys are heading to the break on another losing note. Most likely they're down 4-2 after 2 periods in Dallas against the Stars. So Tito, I cannot wait to hear this, what you have picked out. Where are you going for your best bet?
Yeah, everyone knows how big of a college basketball fan I am, and I love all these different conferences. Whether you talk about the Ivy League, the American East Conference League, or whatever you call it. But one of Tito's absolute favorites is the Horizon League, folks. And so when you talk about the Horizon League, you're talking about North Dakota State and you're talking about Denver. I mean, 2 absolute dumpster fire of programs. Actually, North Dakota State's actually pretty legitimate. Isn't that who Mizzou lost to in 2013? Isn't North Dakota State University? Isn't that who Mizzou lost to when they were a 2 seed?
No, that was Norfolk State. You're thinking
that was Norfolk State. Okay,
in case someone's looking for this play, you're looking at this is the Summit League. North Dakota State, the Bison, taking on Denver. The Denver
it's the Summit League. Yeah,
I
wrote down Horizon for some bizarre reason. I'm sorry, folks. What a big wolf. Forget my bet, but this is my best bet anyway. I was looking at the money line play, but the money line play, it's a -800 for North Dakota State. So I definitely can't make that play, folks. I mean, that's too ridiculous of a best bet. So actually, North Dakota State 19-5, 9-0 in conference. Denver 10-14, 3-6 in conference. North Dakota State is on a 9-game winning streak, while Denver's lost, I think, last 3 or 4 in a row. And so I'm going to go with North Dakota State as my best bet, laying 11.5. That's -108. North Dakota State's at home, so Denver doesn't have a prayer. So my best bet, again, North Dakota State minus 11.5 at minus 108 on DraftKings.
Oh, I think I'm going to agree with you on that one. I just pulled up their KenPom profile for the Denver defense. 361st in the country in defensive efficiency, 351st in field goal percentage against, 334th in giving up offensive rebounds, 347th in three-point percentage defense. It's like,
Jesus,
this team's god awful. The Bison, Denver, not a good club. North Dakota State, much better club. So you got North Dakota State. I do see that. Yeah, minus 11.5 and minus 108 on DraftKings from the Summit League for Tito's best bet. But better news calling you a fraud, saying that nobody wants to see you on the toilet. I like seeing your toilet takes, Tito.
Oh, I love giving toilet takes, and the news of Tito's Tito's kids' elementary school being shut down by the Archdiocese. I'll have some more toilet takes here in the next several weeks that will hold them accountable for sure. So it's still a little too fresh and still a little too raw. So Tito's got to let the simmer die down a little bit longer for that. But be on the lookout for another toilet take by yours truly. I'll preview. I'll give an analysis of how I did as a zebra on Monday. Give everyone a breakdown of any new calls I came up with, whether it's a swimming call or some new analysis for you guys. So Eric's been a lot of fun. Stick around for the Blues post-game show later on tonight, folks, and hopefully the Blues can have some third period magic and come home with a big W. So thanks for setting all this up, Easy, and it was a pleasure talking with you this evening.
Can I get your dander up with just one last thing? I think this is going to get your dander up.
Oh, what's that? What's going on?
Brendan's best bet in the chat. Chelsea plays
Oh
at
my
Wolves
God,
Saturday.
are you serious? Yeah, minus 145 money line of fucking EPL league. Nothing better than to close the fucking show on a square ass EPL league by some fraud of a degenerate of a gambler. I thought we were free and clear of this nonsense, Eric. I mean, what the hell are we doing here with all this nonsensical EPL plays? What a big one. And don't even talk to me about STL City, okay? I don't even know what the hell this team's doing over here. They got all these different teams. They just sold off Joao Klaus. We're bringing in all these different players over from the Bundesliga. And I thought we learned our lesson. I mean, I don't know what the hell we're doing here, folks. How about we get some homegrown talent that maybe that played in America for once? Not enamored with this club, and I don't like the fact that we couldn't escape one fucking show without a square ass EPL play. Thanks a lot, Brendan Stansfield, or whatever the fuck your name is. My goodness.
I think I'm going to be joining Brendan to that play this
weekend. Of course you will. Why not? Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
He says he's also season ticket holder for St. Louis City, just like you, Tito. Not even sure what to even expect this season. I'm pretty sure I saw Berkey being quoted after when training camp started. It says, "Yeah, we're not a playoff team with how we're currently constructed." It's like,
he got his
from the
money.
captain.
He got his extension. That's all he's worried about. He's not worried about. I mean, and that Foul guy that we spent like $3.5 million on, he's already hurt. I mean, the back line, they're dependent on Baumgartner and the center back. That guy is an absolute fraud. He's going to turn the ball over left and right. I don't know who they're going to play as left back or right back, but my goodness, I don't even know what kind of formation they have. It's it's not pretty, folks. It's not going to be pretty. Good news for St. Louis to get they got some sort of an announcement on some Olympic. They're going to have an Olympic Games here over at Energizer Park, so that's great news. But not optimistic about MLS this season. What a big one! And they're giving the MLS thing for free now. You don't even have to pay for it anymore. It's all going to be included in your Apple TV Plus.
Yes.
What a big bluff!
Yes, I made sure I canceled my MLS season pass because I'm like, oh God, they're going to charge me $99.99 for nothing.
Yeah.
So we'll do that Apple TV for like what, $4.99, $5.99 a month, something like that. He says our training is horrible. Too many damn injuries every year. Maybe that team needs to be fired. Tito, I knew I could get your dander up. We were ending on a nice note. I saw that soccer note in there. I'm like, a square EPL play right up to get Tito's dander up. Now I'll get you fired up about St. Louis City SC. Thank God for the Billikens hold things down for us here in St. Louis sports because everything else is a freaking dumpster fire right now.
Oh, it's going to be a brutal summer, Daddy.
Tito. Oh, I really enjoyed catching up with you, brother, and enjoy everyone joining us here tonight on the show. So that is going to do it. Hit the like button and subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel if you haven't already, and make sure to Support those advertisers, guys. That is the name of the game. That is how this business continues to survive. So make sure that you get signed up with DraftKings and use that promo code STL Sports. Also take 2 minutes, go to carltoninsurance.net, fill out a super easy form on there, and get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm. Very good chance he can save you a ton of money this year. So carltoninsurance.net, or call tomorrow during normal business hours, 314-961-4800. That is Tito Ulrich. I'm Eric Sontag. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you next week. And let's cash.